the Gen Alpha dialect of English. I'm going to deliver the rest of this speech in your very own native tongue. It's low-key a huge W to be vibing here at Westtown High School for Languages Week. But chat, let's lock in. Propane prepared.
We are going to learn about the glorious history of glorious LeBron James. First off, who could tell me how tall LeBron James is?
6'7". Chicken jockey. What the helly?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I am not taking y'all Gen Alpha motherfuckers seriously anymore, bro. Bro, I just seen a video. Y'all consider 2000s babies old now. Like, what? Since when?
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and today we're going to be talking about Gen Alpha students, the next digital generation. Gen Alpha students are growing up fully immersed in technology and social media. Their classrooms often blend traditional learning with tablets, apps, and AI tools. While they adapt quickly to change, attention spans and screen time raise concerns. This generation is shaping a new way of learning and connecting with the world. Without further ado, guys, let's dive into the videos and watch.
So one of my students, my 8th graders, wrote this creative writing piece after we read I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King. We also read Ain't I a Woman by Sojourner Truth. So this is what my student wrote, and I feel that everyone in the world needs to hear what a 13-year-old thinks about living in the United States right now. I have a dream that groceries will be affordable again. I have a dream that college will be affordable. I have a dream where students can feel safe going to school. I have a dream where we live in an affordable world for lower and middle class. My point is, our society and world is slowly crumbling. Our government wants all of us to be against each other. We have to speak up and not allow that. I see the way my single dad struggles. Don't get me wrong, I have clothes, a roof over my head, a bed, a shower to shower in, food to eat, but thanks to my dad, he works 12 plus hours a day. Works every other Saturday, closes every week, and doesn't get home till 6 or 7 p.m. I see how much stress he and everyone else is going through. I saw the post that said everyone is so loud about losing TikTok and so quiet about losing our civil rights. Another one was, this isn't even about politics, it's about human decency. I really felt that. Yes, I may be a child. Yes, I may not pay for anything, but I still see and I understand. And so what I want to say is the division in the United States right now is very obvious. It's been going on since 2016. The division just keeps getting greater and greater and greater. But as a teacher, what I see is that I feel the kids see through that. And I feel that the kids have this kind of perspective. They're waiting and praying and wanting life to just be as affordable as it was in 2020 again. Very simple things these kids want. A lot of them have now, like students have consolidated and they have many people living in one home. This student, I sent a picture of this essay to her dad because, yeah, he's doing a wonderful job. But there are so many people like this of all different backgrounds trying to survive right now, and the kids see it. So the division has to end because we're not actually making any progress. What are we fixing? What are we fixing? So why don't we do what the court would do? The court would put the children's best interest first. So could we start there maybe as a society? Could we put the children's best interest first and then see where we end up?
Yeah, it's quite interesting, a 13 years old kid and just, and he just write something that, our politics cannot write, and cannot explain to people and cannot do. What do you think about that, guys? Let me know in the comments below. And please like, share, subscribe. It's really important for me. I try to grow this channel, so I do appreciate this. And if you want to support channels, I have a referral links in the description below, so please check them out if you want. Okay, guys, I will definitely appreciate this, and let's dive to the next video and watch, guys.
Here's your weekly update on the words that kids are using this week. It is Wednesday, August 6th, and I wrote down all the words that I heard most in the classroom this week. I need to know, are you hearing the same ones, different ones? Which one of these words do you need me to define for you? Up first, we have chopped. Right now, everything is chopped. Now, at the beginning of the word chopped, it meant ugly, but right now, kids are using chopped to describe anything that they don't like. Anything that they dislike, that's chopped. This is chopped. Are you serious? That's chopped, okay? Number 2, we have nothing beats a jet to a holiday. Right now, you can save 50 fat pounds per person. And they're just incessantly saying this over and over and over and over again. It's a meme, has no meaning. And then lastly, we have 6, 7, 6, 7. And I'm a math teacher, so I hear it more than I want to. 6, 7, 6, 7. It will not quit. I need help, send help.
Interesting words. Try to remember this, guys, What other words your kids using, I will be very happy to read that in the comments below. Okay, guys, let's dive to the next video and watch.
The Gen Alpha dialect of English. I'm going to deliver the rest of this speech in your very own native tongue. It's low-key a huge W to be vibing here at Westtown High School for Languages Week. But chat, let's lock in. Rakuten prepared. Now, I know it's giving to Lulu for this chuggy boober to speak in such skibbity brain rot, but if you'll bear with me, I'll put the fries in the bag in just a second. I do actually have a message here, type shit. No cap, I was dead-ass pressed about understanding this language. But I had to absorb the drip so I wouldn't get aired by your generation. High-key, people think Gen Alpha slang is just memes and brain rot, but on God, it's giving linguistic glow-up core happening IRL. Every time you drop a gyat or it's giving, you're legit patching the English language DLC with fresh updates, literally shifting the English meta. Language evolves because you're constantly cooking new ways to pass the vibe check, and honestly, your memes today finna hit as the textbook vocab of tomorrow. Bet. And this is exactly why learning languages hits different. Just like how your casual Pookie talk could soon be the dictionary definition, picking up another language gives you front row seats to how people around the world give the deets. It's like unlocking infinite drip, allowing you to catch dubs across cultures, connect deeper with the squad, and stand new perspectives that would otherwise leave you ghosted. Languages aren't just sus grammar rules, fam. They're the ultimate riz for becoming a real one everywhere you pull up. It's the Giga Chad energy for me. So, knowing languages isn't mid, but it's not just a flex either. It's an infinite money glitch that slaps. People finna get pressed saying languages are chopped or too hard. Don't listen, bestie. They're just salty because their language game is dog water. Being multilingual is OD, letting you stand cultures, vibe with international fam, and utterly mog your career. No cap, speaking another language lets you go off, turning you into an absolute conversational rizzlord. So yeah, chat, that's the sauce. Keep cooking, stay goated, never be mid, and FR, study hard and go rizz up that knowledge.
Yeah, I love to have such professor in my days when I learned, pretty interesting. It's really awesome. Now, this guys definitely did everything right, I think, and the language is pretty interesting too, What do you think about that, guys? Let me know in the comments below, and let's dive in the next video and watch.
Gen Alpha says, what? Okay, let's break this down phonetically. Today's decoding challenge is Skibbity Ohio Toilet Riz No Cap. Yes, that's a sentence now. So let's sound it out. All right, I've got this broken down into syllables so that you can easily see how these phonics patterns are being used here. So the first pattern we have is the SK blend, sk. And this has to be a K because C copies S when followed by E, I, or Y. So if that were a C, it would say S instead of K. So it has to be a K. Next, we have the closed pattern, the closed syllable pattern, IB. One little vowel squished in the middle makes its short sound just a little. So we've got id, another closed vowel pattern. And then finally, at the end of that word, we've got I says E, which means it's probably Latin based. Next, we've got the open syllable pattern, where when the vowel on the end is free, it says its name to me. So here's this O at the end of the syllable. It's going to say its own name, O. Hi, O. Ohio. So we have a word full of open syllable patterns. Next, we've got our two vowel whiner, OI says oi. Sometimes when two vowels get together, they make whining sounds. And in this case, OI says oi like boil because it's in the middle of the word. If it were at the end of the word, it would say OY like toy. So we've got toy and then another closed vowel pattern, let. And we've got another closed vowel pattern here with riz, but we've also got the floss rule. So when F, L, S, and Z are at the end of a word, or sometimes at the end of a syllable, like in sizzle, you're going to have to use two of them. You have to double up on those consonants. So that's why we have a double Z for riz. Then we have another open syllable pattern with no. And then finally, another closed syllable pattern where that A is between two consonants, making it say its short sound A. So cap. Skib, id, E, Ohio, toilet, riz, no cap. And that's your phonics lesson to be able to say this phrase. Language is wild, but phonics still wins.
Yeah, we need to understand the phonic for for the Gen Alpha. Definitely, it's pretty interesting. I decided to add this in our show because this is pretty awesome. Okay, guys, let me know what you think about that in the comments below, and let's dive to the next video and watch.
Here's an update on the words that I believe kids are going to be using the most this fall in the classroom. My school year starts in just over 2 weeks, and so I've been preparing my mind with what I think that they're going to be saying the most in the classroom. Number one, by far, is going to be aura farming, or are farming for aura, doing things to appear cool. Now, the aura farming boat kid meme is trending and going strong still. They're going to be doing the dance in classroom. They're going to be telling us that we are farming for aura any chance they get. That's number one. Number two is going to be the it's not clocking to you right now, or basically you don't get it, which is trending because of the Justin Bieber meme where he says that, but also his album just dropped, and so that trend I don't think is going away. I think it's carrying over from the summer into the classroom. And then we have a couple hanging on from last school year. We have chat, which is just a way to address somebody, a group of people. We have Sigma, which is cool, or Sigma boy. We have glazing, which is basically overhyping somebody. These are all words that I think are coming into the classroom.
Yeah, interesting, more words that are going to be here with us for 2025 for Gen Alpha students. Okay, guys, let's dive to the next video and watch.
Can we normalize speaking up and saying something to kids when they're being distasteful, disrespectful, or obnoxious in public settings where other adults are? I was just at the store and these kids was so like, oh my gosh. They was using profanity I've never used before. I've never heard of before. The little boys was talking to the little girls about explicit things, and it just blew my mind. Like, you don't see all these grown-ups standing right here and you don't feel like, growing up, if I was in a public setting and I was with my friends in high school or middle school and we was being obnoxious and loud and grown and talking crazy, we had reminded ourselves, oh, let's slow down, let's chill, is an adult right here, or excuse me, ma'am, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, or watch your mouth, and we'll remind each other. Nowadays, you can't say nothing to these kids because you'll be having to fight them. And then tell them to go get your mother, or I'll walk you home to go get your mother. And these kids not scared. They'll be ready to fight you in a heartbeat, faster than the adults would. I just really feel like we need to normalize being able to go back to the days of our parents and be able to say something to kids that are doing things that are very distasteful, disrespectful, and obnoxious. Because it's really getting out of hand. and it influences the youth underneath them. Like my children was with me, and I feel like that's nothing I want my kids to hear or see, but it's something I can't control. But that also go to show that for the most part, some of them are not being raised by parents that care. And yeah, I said it because at the end of the day, I know that I would do that in front of my friends or with my friends, but I know in the back of my mind, I'm scared of what can happen if somebody found out and told my mom or my dad. It's just getting crazier and crazier and scarier and scarier. I'm really scared to raise my kids in 2025.
Yeah, interesting thought from this lady. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments below, and let's dive into the next video and watch.
We are going to learn about the glorious history of glorious LeBron James. First off, who could tell me how tall LeBron James is?
6'7". Chicken jockey. What the helly?
Chicken.
He's trying to ore farm.
Tight shit.
Bro, stop acting mysterious. You're not mysterious, okay? You get no huzz. What the hell's that? Get no huzz, cuh. You get no huzz.
Oh, shut up. You're a little up right now. You pay taxes.
Clock it. Period. She ate that.
LeBron.
Yes, interesting. Very interesting. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about that, Pretty interesting scene from this gentleman. Okay, guys, let's dive into the next video.
Everybody stop calling Gen Alpha the new gen, because you guys know that they're not the new generation anymore, right? New generation is Gen Beta. The first Gen Betas are being born literally right now. Like, this is the first year that the first Gen Betas are, becoming, actually a thing. They're being born right now. Gen Alpha is not the new generation anymore. So can we stop calling Gen Alpha new gen, because they're not the new generation no more. I'm gonna have people in my comments saying Gen Beta is not a thing yet. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Gen Alpha is still this is Gen Alpha year 2. No, Gen Alpha is from 2013 to 2024. First Gen Betas are going to be 1 year old next year, okay? And then we're going to keep getting more Gen Betas and more Gen Betas and more Gen Betas, and then the next generation will be here soon. Yeah. So, you guys have to stop calling Gen Alpha the new gen, because they're not the new generation anymore, guys. Okay, yeah. I know. And the generation thing, is such, a funny topic to talk about, because everybody has different, everybody have a different opinion on where, Gen Alpha starts, where Gen Z stops, and it's just a mess. It really is just a mess. But Gen Alpha is not the new generation anymore, okay? Not no more. That's Gen Beta. And if you want to talk about Gen Beta, then go ahead, but just know they're not conscious beings right now. They can't defend themselves at all.
Yeah, interesting thoughts about that, from this gentleman. So basically, yeah, the new generation is right now is already Gen Beta from 2025. Okay, guys, let's dive to the next video and watch.
Teachers are overwhelmed with Gen Alpha. They can't follow directions, sit still, or keep their hands to themselves.
So for context, I work in lower elementary. We have zero problem-solving skills. There could be a backpack in the path that someone needs to walk, and instead of picking it up, walking around it, they'll start whining that they don't know what to do. Their brain short circuits and they don't know what to do about it. They literally cannot think to just move it out of the way. They step on top of papers that don't belong to them because, well, that's not mine. They are constantly shouting out. They can't stay in their seats. They don't know how to be bored. They don't know how to sit and look up at the teacher when she's giving instructions and actually teaching them something. They don't know how to do that. They don't understand the concept of just sitting there quietly. Like when they finish an assignment, they're like, okay, so I finished, what do I do? Okay, just sit there and wait for the next direction. But I'm done. Okay, so sit there quietly and just wait for the next direction. You can sit there for a couple minutes. So many of them will go through the entire hour-long reading period and not read a single word. They're fiddling with their shoe, they get up and they use 16 tissues, they ask to go to the bathroom, they ask to get a drink, they're doodling on their paper, they're staring off into space, they're talking to their neighbor, they're playing with their snack. They can't just sit and do a task. And it's not even just the inability to do work. It's the inability to follow any directions. I will very explicitly say, hey, The directions on this math sheet say to gather items from the room and measure them, but that's going to be too crazy, so we're not going to gather items. I just want you to measure the things that are on the piece of paper. Maybe 30 seconds later, there's like a bunch of kids walking around the room gathering stuff. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Like, well, it says to do this. I'm like, were you listening to what I just said? We are not gathering things from around the room. Just measure what's on the paper. Oh, okay. 2 minutes later, I see people gathering stuff around the room. Like, I want to rip my hair out. They also, it's hard to say that they're super disrespectful because they're not doing it on purpose, but they are still so disrespectful. I'm not saying that kids should be seen and not heard, but they ask why to everything. Guys, I need you to get your books out. Why? Because it's reading time. Guys, I need you to put your Chromebooks away. Why? Because win time is over and now we're moving on to the next lesson. Guys, I need you to line up. Why? Because it's time for gym, and I already gave you a 5-minute warning that gym is soon. We just had to give assigned seats at lunch because there's constant shoving and crying and saving seats and people moving stuff out of the way. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, pretty interesting thoughts from this lady, from this teacher for Gen Alpha students. And, see, she have some problems with them too, but it's very interesting thoughts from her. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below, and let's dive to the next video.
Giat? No, it's Giat. Or Giat! Have you been hearing your kids say this? Then let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Ron, and I'm your official purveyor of useless knowledge. I check the headlines daily and bring you the ones that pique my interest. Before we get into that, you know what to do. Hit all the buttons and follow along for more. So basically, Giat started as a way of shortening God in goddamn. Then it spiraled out of control and became something completely different. According to the article from my MSN algorithm, Giat was originally used as a way of expressing excitement, surprise, or attraction, such as, yeah, damn, or something like that. Goes on to say recently it started being used when witnessing a particularly bodacious or voluptuous, curvier body with emphasis on the backside. So this has now evolved into a noun for a big butt. And additionally, there are levels of Giat. Level 1 Giat, Level 2 Giat. I have no idea how far up it goes. So when your kid tells you it's an acronym for something, it is not. They are lying to you. It is just a short noun for someone with a big ass. Now that you know what Giat means, I challenge you to use it in front of your child. That way they can hear how dumb it sounds.
Now we know something about this word, Now we can use it. We are professionals. Now we are professionals, guys. Okay, let's dive to the next video and watch.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I am not taking y'all Gen Alpha motherfuckers seriously anymore, bro. Bro, I just seen a video. Y'all consider 2000s babies old now. Like, what? Since when? What the fuck? Isn't my life just... I turn 20 years old next month, bro. Bro, I be getting called Unk all the fucking time. I be having cousins of mine call me Unk. Damn, you're getting up there, pushing 30. I'm not even 20. What are you, bro? Y'all treat me being 19, 20 like I'm 40, 50 years old, bro. Like, god damn. Oh my gosh, bro. Last time I fucking checked, my life is just starting, bro. What do you mean I'm pushing 50? What? Get the fuck up, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not taking y'all Gen Alpha seriously anymore, bro. What? Bro, I saw this 2012 baby call someone born in 2009 Unk, bro. I'm not taking this shit serious, bro. Y'all gotta be rage baiting, bro. There's no way, bro. There's no way. Bro, my life is just starting, bro. What the fuck do you mean Unk? Why you keep calling me Gramps, bro? What? Alright, bro. You know what? You got it. You got it. Champ.
Yeah, very interesting thoughts from this young gentleman, Very interesting. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And like always, guys, be safe. And see you next one. Bye-bye for now.